For over 600 years, it has remained silent. A book that no one can read, written in a language no one speaks, illustrated with images no one can explain, hidden in plain sight, locked in parchment and pigment. The Voynich Manuscript has defied codebreakers, linguists, historians, and even artificial intelligence. Some call it a hoax. Others believe it's a relic of a lost civilization, or a message from somewhere else. This is the story of the world's most mysterious book. The Voynich Manuscript is one of the most enigmatic and mysterious documents in history, a handwritten codex that has puzzled scholars, cryptographers, linguists, and historians for centuries. Presented is an exhaustive overview of its discovery, the individuals and groups who have studied it, and the attempts at decoding its text. Discovery and early history. When and where it was found. Earliest known reference. The manuscript is named after Wilfrid Voynich, a Polish book dealer who acquired it in 1912. However, its origins are far older, and its history before Voynich's acquisition is partially documented. Wilfrid Voynich purchased the manuscript from the Jesuit college at Villa Mondragone, near Frascati, Italy. The Jesuits were selling off parts of their collection, and Voynich acquired a bundle of manuscripts, among which was this peculiar codex. So what is the manuscript's history prior to 1912? A letter found with the manuscript, dated 1665 or 1666, from Johannes Marcus Marci, a Bohemian doctor and scientist, to Athanasius Kircher, a Jesuit scholar in Rome, suggests it was sent to Kircher for study. Marci claimed the manuscript had belonged to Emperor Rudolph II of the Holy Roman Empire, 1552 to 1612, who reportedly purchased it for 600 gold ducats and believed it was authored by Roger Bacon, a 13th century Franciscan friar and scholar. The letter implies the manuscript was in Prague before being sent to Rome. Historical evidence suggests it may have been part of Rudolph II's vast collection of curiosities and esoteric texts. Other names associated with its early ownership include Georg Berisch, 1585 to 1662, a Prague alchemist who owned it in the early 17th century and corresponded with Kircher about it, seeking help to decipher it. Jacobus Horsicki de Tepinec died 1622. A physician to Rudolph II whose signature, partially erased, appears on the first folio, indicating he owned it around 1608 to 1622. Carbon dating conducted in 2009 by the University of Arizona confirmed the manuscript's vellum dates to 1404 to 1438, 95% confidence, placing its creation in the early 15th century, likely in northern Italy or Central Europe. Physical description. The manuscript is a codex of approximately 240 vellum pages, some missing, measuring about 23.5 by 16.2 centimeters. It is written in an unknown script, often called Voynichese, with no clear linguistic or cryptographic parallel. The text is accompanied by detailed illustrations of plants, astronomical diagrams, biological sketches, and other enigmatic figures, none of which correspond directly to known species, constellations, or objects. Sections are typically categorized as herbal, drawings of plants with roots, leaves, and flowers; astronomical, astrological, circular diagrams with stars, moons, and zodiac-like symbols; biological, images of nude figures in pools or tubes, possibly depicting human anatomy or alchemical processes; cosmological, abstract diagrams, possibly maps or symbolic representations; pharmaceutical, drawings of plant parts in containers, suggesting recipes or medicinal uses. Condition at discovery. When Voynich acquired it, the manuscript was incomplete, with some pages missing or removed. It was bound in a simple cover, and the vellum showed signs of aging, but was relatively well preserved. The Marcy letter and other documents found with it provided clues to its earlier ownership, but no clear explanation of its content. Individuals and groups who have studied the manuscript. The Voynich Manuscript has attracted a wide range of scholars, cryptographers, linguists, historians, and amateurs. Below is a comprehensive list of notable figures and groups who have examined it, along with their contributions or hypotheses. Pre-20th century, Emperor Rudolph II, 1552 to 1612. Likely owned the manuscript, possibly believing it was a work of Roger Bacon. His court in Prague was a hub for alchemists, astronomers, and occultists, including John Dee and Edward Kelly, who some speculate may have encountered or even created the manuscript, though evidence is thin. Jacobus Horsicki de Tepanix. His signature on the manuscript suggests he studied or owned it. As a physician and botanist, he may have been interested in its herbal sections. Georg Barisch, an alchemist who owned the manuscript and sent samples of its script to Kircher, hoping for a translation. His letters express frustration at its undecipherable nature. Athanasius Kircher received the manuscript or parts of it from Marcy and Barisch. Kircher was a polymath known for studying obscure scripts, but no record exists of him deciphering it. His interest in linguistics and cryptography likely drew him to the manuscript. Johannes Marcus Marcy sent the manuscript to Kircher, suggesting it was a cipher or encoded text. His letter is a key historical document tying the manuscript to Rudolph II, 20th century, Wilfrid Voynich, 1865 to 1930. After acquiring the manuscript, Voynich devoted much of his life to studying it. He believed it was a ciphered scientific text by Roger Bacon and shared it with cryptographers and scholars. He publicized the manuscript widely, sparking modern interest. Ethel Voynich, Wilfrid's wife, a novelist, assisted in promoting and studying the manuscript. She inherited it after his death and later sold it. William Newbold, 1865 to 1926, a University of Pennsylvania professor who, in the 1920s, claimed to have deciphered the manuscript using a complex anagram-based method. He proposed it was a scientific text by Roger Bacon describing microscopic and astronomical observations. His work was later debunked as subjective and overly speculative. John Manley and Edith Rickert, cryptographers who worked on the manuscript during World War I. They dismissed Newbold's claims and suggested the text might be a cipher, but they made no significant progress. William Friedman, 1891 to 1969, a renowned American cryptographer who led a team during World War II to study the manuscript. Friedman concluded the text was written in a synthetic or constructed language, not a simple cipher. His team's efforts, including statistical analysis, laid the groundwork for later studies, but yielded no translation. Robert S. Brumbaugh, a Yale philosopher who, in the 1970s, proposed the manuscript was a hoax or a ciphered alchemical text. He suggested it used a numerical substitution cipher, but offered no conclusive decoding. Mary D'Imperio, a cryptologist who wrote the Voynich Manuscript, An Elegant Enigma, 1978, a seminal work summarizing cryptographic approaches to the manuscript. Her book remains a key resource for researchers. John Tiltman, a British cryptographer who collaborated with Friedman, he noted the script's repetitive patterns and suggested it might be a constructed language or a hoax, but could not crack it. 21st century René Zandbergen, a Dutch astronomer and leading Voynich researcher who maintains one of the most comprehensive websites on the manuscript. He focuses on its historical context and has debunked many speculative theories while advocating for rigorous analysis. Gordon Rugg, a British computer scientist who, in 2004, proposed the manuscript could be a hoax created using a cardon grill, a Renaissance encryption tool. He demonstrated that similar gibberish could be generated but did not prove the manuscript was meaningless. Jorge Stolfi, a Brazilian computer scientist who conducted statistical analyses of the text, suggesting it resembles a natural language with syntactic structure, but is not a known language. He leaned toward it being a cipher or constructed language. Stephen Bax, died 2017. A British linguist who claimed in 2014 to have partially decoded the manuscript by identifying plant and star names, proposing it was a treatise on nature in a unique script. His work was criticized for lacking rigor and reproducibility. Greg Kondrak and Bradley Hauer, 2018. University of Alberta researchers who used AI to analyze the script, suggesting it might be encoded Hebrew written in an anagrammed form. Their claim was met with skepticism due to methodological flaws and lack of a full translation. Lisa Fagan Davis, a paleographer and executive director of the Medieval Academy of America, she has studied the manuscript's script and illustrations. She argues it is not a simple hoax, but a meaningful text, possibly in a lost or invented language, and emphasizes its medieval European context. Yale University, Beinecke Library. The manuscript has been housed at Yale's Beinecke Rare Book and Manuscript Library since 1969, donated by Hans P. Krauss. Yale researchers and visiting scholars have conducted imaging, chemical analysis, and digitization, making high-resolution scans available online. Amateurs and online communities. Numerous amateur researchers, including those on forums like Reddit and the Voynich Manuscript mailing list, have proposed theories ranging from lost languages to extraterrestrial origins. These are generally speculative and lack academic rigor. Notable hoax theories. Edward Kelly and John D. Some speculate the manuscript was a fraud created by Kelly, a known con man, to deceive Rudolph II. No direct evidence supports this. Wilfred Voynich. A theory suggests Voynich himself forged the manuscript, but carbon dating and historical records disprove this. Modern hoax skeptics. Scholars like Gordon Rugg and Lisa Fagan Davis acknowledge the hoax hypothesis, but argue the manuscript's complexity and consistency suggest purposeful creation, even if its meaning is unclear. Decoding attempts and hypotheses. The Voynich manuscript script, written in an unknown alphabet of 20 to 30 characters, has resisted all decoding attempts. Next, we look at an exhaustive summary of decoding efforts, their methods, and outcomes. Characteristics of the script. The text is written left to right, with no clear punctuation, though some characters appear to function as word dividers. Statistical analysis shows the text follows patterns similar to natural languages, e.g., Zipf's law for word frequency, but it lacks the entropy of typical ciphers. The script includes recurring words and patterns, suggesting a structured system, but no known language or cipher matches it. Illustrations suggest the text relates to the drawings, but no direct correlation, e.g., plant names, has been confirmed. Major decoding theories, cipher hypothesis. Many early researchers, e.g., Friedman Tiltman, assume the text was a substitution or Polybius cipher encoding a known language, e.g., Latin, Greek. Challenges. The text's low entropy and lack of clear grammatical structure make simple ciphers unlikely. No key or method has produced a coherent translation. Natural language hypothesis. Some propose the text is a rare or extinct language, possibly written in an invented script. Candidates include a lost European dialect, e.g., Manx or Romani, a non-European language, e.g., Nahuatl or a Middle Eastern script. Stephen Bax's 2014 claim suggested a phonetic script naming plants and stars, but his translations were incomplete and unverified. Challenges. No known language matches the script's structure, and the illustrations don't align with any specific cultural tradition. Constructed language. hypothesis. William Friedman and others suggested the text is a synthetic language, like a Proto-Esperanto or philosophical language created for secrecy or intellectual exercise. The script's repetitive patterns and lack of clear syntax support this, but no constructed language from the period matches it. Hoax or gibberish. Hypothesis. Gordon Rugg's 2004 study showed the text could be generated using a grill and random syllable tables, suggesting it might be meaningless. Critics argue the manuscript's complexity, consistent illustrations, and historical context make a pure hoax unlikely. Steganography, or hidden code. Some propose the text conceals a hidden message, with the visible script as a distraction. Methods like steganography or null characters have been explored but yielded no results. AI and computational approaches. Greg Kondrack's 2018 AI analysis suggested anagrammed Hebrew, but the results were inconclusive and criticized for cherry-picking. Other machine learning studies, e.g., by the University of Surrey, have identified statistical patterns, but no translation. Challenges. AI struggles with the lack of a reference corpus, or clear linguistic context. Alchemical or esoteric text. The manuscript's illustrations resemble alchemical symbols, leading some to propose it's a coded guide to alchemy, astrology, or mysticism. No alchemical tradition matches the script or drawings exactly, and the text's purpose remains unclear. Multilingual or polyglot hypothesis, a 2019 claim by Gerard Cheshire, University of Bristol, suggested the manuscript was written in a Proto-Romance language, a mix of Latin, Italian, and other dialects. His translation, describing a herbal and astrological text, was widely debunked by linguists for inconsistencies and lack of evidence. Notable decoding claims. William Newbold, 1920s, claimed to find micrographic shorthand revealing Bacon's scientific discoveries. Debunked as subjective. Lionel Strong, 1940s. Proposed a Polybius cipher encoding Middle English. His partial translation was incoherent and unverified. Stephen Bax, 2014. Identified a few words, e.g., Taurus, for a star diagram, but his system didn't scale to the full text. Nicholas Gibbs, 2017, claimed it was a Latin shorthand for a women's health manual. His work was criticized as speculative and inconsistent. Ahmet Ardic, 2018, a Turkish engineer, claimed it was phonetic Old Turkic. Linguists dismissed it as implausible. Gerard Cheshire, 2019. His proto-romance theory was rejected by medievalists for lacking linguistic grounding. Current consensus: no decoding has been universally accepted. The manuscript's text remains untranslated and its purpose is unknown. Leading theories suggest it is either a meaningful text in a lost or constructed language, script, a ciphered text with an unbreakable code, a hoax or artistic creation designed to appear meaningful. The illustrations suggest a focus on botany, astronomy, and possibly medicine, but their stylized nature defies precise identification. Recent studies, e.g. by Lisa Fagan Davis, emphasize the manuscript's medieval European context, possibly tied to scholarly or esoteric traditions. Scientific and technological analyses, carbon dating, 2009, conducted by the University of Arizona, confirmed the vellum dates to 1404 to 1438, ruling out modern forgeries. Ink and pigment analysis, 2014. Macron Associates analyzed the ink, finding it consistent with 15th century iron gall ink. Pigments, e.g. green, blue, match medieval materials. Multispectral imaging. Yale's Beinecke library used multispectral imaging to reveal erased text, e.g. Tepanex's signature, and faint annotations, but these provided no new decoding insights. Statistical studies. Analyses by Stolfi, Rugg, and others show the text has linguistic properties, e.g., word length distribution, repetition, but it doesn't match any known language or cipher. Digitization. High-resolution scans available online via Yale have enabled global study, but no breakthroughs have emerged. Cultural and popular impact. The manuscript has inspired novels, documentaries, and conspiracy theories, e.g., alien origins, though unsupported. It is often called the world's most mysterious book and has become a symbol of unsolved cryptographic and historical puzzles. Exhibitions at the Beinecke Library and reproductions, e.g., Silo's 2016 facsimile, have increased public interest. Challenges and future prospects. Challenges: lack of a Rosetta Stone-like reference to compare the script, ambiguity of illustrations, which may be symbolic or fictional, the manuscript's uniqueness, with no known parallels in medieval texts. Future directions. Advances in AI and computational linguistics may uncover patterns or parallels in obscure languages or ciphers. Collaborative interdisciplinary efforts, historians, linguists, cryptographers, could contextualize the manuscript further. New imaging techniques might reveal hidden annotations or construction details. Conclusion: the Voynich Manuscript, discovered in its modern form by Wilfrid Voynich in 1912, but created circa 1404 to 1438, remains an unsolved enigma. Its unknown script, intricate illustrations, and uncertain purpose have defied centuries of study by scholars, cryptographers, and amateurs, from Athanasius Kircher to modern AI researchers. While carbon dating and material analysis confirm its medieval origins, no decoding attempt, whether cipher, natural language, or constructed script, has produced a verifiable translation. Theories range from a scientific treatise to an elaborate hoax, but the manuscript's true meaning eludes us. Its allure lies in its mystery, inviting endless speculation and study, with the hope that future technologies or discoveries may one day unlock its secrets. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching.